Hello, HTH community. Once again, thank you for joining me on another installment of Have That Hope podcast. Yes, indeed. We're here for another day of exciting tips and practices for handling everyday stressors and coming out positive, and how to use day-to-day things to overcome and how to use those for your growth. Right? So today, guys, a very good one, very good lesson today. I'm going to be talking about ambition and resistance, right? The two verses right there, ambition and resistance, right? As human beings, man or woman, we have to make the decision to feed ambition or to let resistance overcome us, right? Now, I don't want you to get ambition. What is ambition? Basically, a simple definition for ambition is the sacred fire within. I said on a podcast earlier that I said a quote from one of my famous philosophers. I said a quote of, what is used to fuel the fire becomes fuel for that fire. What you throw on the fire becomes fuel for that fire, right? And ambition is the fire within. So ambition, you feed ambition, right? Just like you feed a fire. A regular fire, you would feed it, anything, fire eat up anything, right? Anything material, right? But your inner fire, your ambition, is fed from what? Your inner fire is fed from skills. Your inner fire is fed from self-talk, positive self-talk. Your inner fire is fed from new vision, from you working toward goals. Doing something little every day builds your ambition and feeds that fire within you to give you that confidence to go on. Now, I also don't want you to get confused with ambition and motivation, okay? Now, motivation is temporary. Motivation is fleeting. Motivation is like a can of Red Bull. Give you a quick pep, make you feel good for a moment. That's what motivation is. It won't last. It's very fleeting, right? What we need to maintain is ambition. Motivation will come and go. What we need to, if we have, actually motivation is almost like gasoline for that ambition fire within, right? It amps it up greatly. It does. But that fire eventually dies back down to its regular size once that motivation gasoline wears down. Okay, so what we need to feed is ambition, right? And like I said, we feed ambition through skills that we learn, through knowledge, through positive self-talk, through achieving goals, right? So we have to find ways every day on how we're going to tackle and feed our ambition. Because if we refuse, if we just can go through our mundane day, guys, get up, go to work, come home, sleep, get up, just to do it all over again, guys, we're losing precious time. We're losing precious opportunities to feed our ambition. Women always say they want an ambitious man, right? And a lot of us think that ambition means money. If you have money, you must be ambitious, right? No, it's not true at all. Some people, are raised into money. They get money because their family has money. Some people have money because they made good career decisions. Doesn't mean they're ambitious. To be ambitious means to follow your dream, to go beyond what is expected, to have a thought, cultivating that thought, and have that thought grow into a goal and passion that you actually reach toward. That is ambition, which is something that we all possess, but very few of us take advantage of. Okay? So let me touch on real quick, as we talked about ambition. What is ambition? How do we feed ambition? And what ambition is not. Let's talk about its verses. Let's talk about its opposite. Ambition's opposite is resistance or procrastination. Okay? Resistance. What is resistance? Just like what I say what it is. Just like ambition is the sacred fire within, resistance is the enemy within. Just like it's like ambition is that angel, resistance is the devil on your shoulder. And what is the devil? What does the devil bring? The devil brings laziness. The devil brings excuses. The devil supplies rationalizations. The devil supplies a person being apathetic. The devil definitely brings fears, depression, and anxiety. This is what resistance creates. When your fire starts to die out, this is what takes its place. Now there's one or two that's going to reside in a person every day that shows either ambition or resistance. Which one are you going to choose to allow to show into your life on a day-to-day basis, right? None of us likes a lazy person. None of us likes excuses, right? We definitely don't like our fears. But these are the things that manifest in us like a weed when we don't feed our flowers of ambition. Because if we don't feed the flowers, the weeds take over the garden. Definitely. And we don't need, all we got to do is sit back and the weeds will do their job. I guarantee it, right? So these are the tools of resistance. Resistance's goal is not to wound or disable its victim. But a resistance goal is to kill. It's only to kill. Laziness, excuses, depression, anxiety, these things are working towards an end. Your end. Your demise. This is the enemy's goal. This is the devil's trick. The devil does not need to manifest himself on this earth. He has the greatest tool, which is resistance. And all he needs to do with resistance is tempt you with it. We all use it. We all use these tools. Not to say that I don't. We all use them, but we have to fight them on a day-to-day basis, guys. Every day we have to fight resistance. Okay? And like I said, with resistance, resistance brings fear. Fear is the manifestation of resistance. Overcoming fear is like kicking a drug habit or stop drinking, right? It can become our fail-safe. When we think about trying something new, fear kicks in. When we think about stepping outside our norm, fear kicks in, or resistance, right? We worry about what can go wrong. We worry about how we will be seen. We worry about, will this turn out in my favor? Just like the great Nelson Mandela said, guys, I've never lost. I've either won or I learned. Okay? I either won or I learned a lesson. He said he never lost. And I believe that. We don't lose. Now, in your perception, you can believe that you lost. But you've learned a real lesson of what doesn't work. You know? Think of the light bulb. The guy who invented the light bulb. He found, what would they say? He found out 2,000 experiments of how a light bulb didn't work. The 2001 was Was the light bulb type of thing? The name escapes me. Such common name, but the name escapes me. But still, you guys know what I mean. How long do you think it took for 2,000 failed experiments? It wasn't 2 days. It wasn't 2 months. See, me, I want to understand how long those experiments took. Those experiments could have took 10, 20 years. Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington, right? Invented the light bulb, right? I wonder how long, and he invented so many things. He invented a litany of things. This guy was at work. This guy was on his purpose. This guy had ambition. Think about that, man. Failing at something 2,000 times? Oh my goodness, I would have been gave up. My ambition would have been fell off. But we gotta understand, guys, that guy, I don't know what he fed himself. But something in him told him, man, you getting closer. You getting closer. You know, I can only imagine. If I gave myself 2,000 tries to do anything, I'd probably be successful at some point. Or I guarantee I'd know a lot. I would know a lot about it. But that's a great example, guys. Booker T. Washington of ambition. Think about the resistance that must have set in. Think about the people around him that must have doubted him and told him that, dude, this ain't gonna work. You know? All kind of doubts leaking into him. Fears. Because what if he never figured it out? He would have felt like all that time was wasted. Oh, I produced nothing. But I worked on creating this light bulb, but never produced nothing. He had to work on a vision. He had no idea that would work. It wasn't even fathomable that it could work. That man worked off vision, had ambition, and fought off resistance daily. Daily. 365. That man was committed. That's what I'm talking about. Ambition, baby. That's where it comes out of. When you focus on your craft every day, you have a faith and a belief that it will work out. And if it doesn't work out, you're still going to be better man for it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you stay on. Too many people don't want to do things nowadays because they want to know that the promise of good will come. Guys, we are losing our belief in the power of faith. Faith has a lot to do with our ambition, and faith has a lot to do with our destiny. We cannot create a destiny if we don't have faith. And if we don't have faith, we don't have hope. And if we don't have hope, we perish. And I refuse to perish alone. Real talk, okay? So if this podcast, whatever this is, this little rinky-dink thing that I'm doing, making me fearful every day, but you know what? I'm conquering this fear. It took me over 2 years. I've been 2 years contemplating doing this podcast, doing this thing that's just simple. And I'm afraid every time I get on and speak. But you know what? I understand that fear is that resistance. And if I'm fearful, then that means that I am doing something good. And I am jumping into a pool and feeding my ambition. And I'm going to do that every day. And I want you guys to do that with me. I want you to pick something every day that you're ambitious about, that you're a dreamer about, that you care about. And I want you to feed that fire some way. Be 1% better every day. 1% better. That's it. That ain't much. That ain't much. Just do 1% better. Learn something. Develop something. Open your ears to something new. You know? See how this fire of ambition can affect your life in a positive way. I guarantee you, you will leap bounds if you will start to feed ambition and starve the weed